Hi everyone, welcome to saasguru live webinar. So allow me to give an introduction, brief idea about what's about saasguru. So saasguru is a platform where you can supercharge your certification programs. Yeah, so as a training program are tailor-made and expertise and on your expertise and knowledge. So on the key highlights of our certification, it's always summarized, it's tailor-made according to your knowledge and your expertise. It's also gamified and that it develops the interest in your mind rather than the unboring a lot of unclutter unnecessary materials when you preparing for your certification. So at saasguru, you find their study groups, you can find challenges and global leaderboards, and also this in the same in the summarized way, you can cut the clutter with the short video and micro modules, and it's tailored with the assessments of the progress and performance as the person who subscribes to the platform. So in short, what I can say about saasguru, it's a bridge between the learning and the certifications day. So if you want to learn Salesforce, you can join saasguru because it bridges you from the certification and learning. So how, maybe you can be thinking, how do the community do that, the platform? So we keep the benchmarkers so that you can track your performance accordingly and plan. We also personalize and revise the topics while also giving the simple performance tests. So depending with how, as you see from the platform, you can see the performance and how you performed and how, if you are ready to do the exams and the percentages you've achieved in the platform. So also another thing is there is the personalized revision topics, while also you give the sample practice test, and also you can get mentors from the platform by they provide one-on-one mentorship programs on any topic you'd want. So you will just book for a mentor and you'll get help on mentorship programs. So also you can join our community, you be part of the community. When you become part of the community, these are the things that you will get. So we have certification folders, we have products and tips and updates, live classes and webinars, and also 24/7 live help from guru. So if you would need any help from the guru, you can book for a mentor from the platform, or you can get help from the gurus from the platform. So also I'd ask you all to join our community by the community. We have our Slack community and LinkedIn community. So you will get they'll share the Slack point joining button in the chat. So our today masterclass is on object architect and relationship, formula fields, roll-up summary, and fields. So maybe I can give a brief explanation introduction about myself. So my name is Edith Kemboi. I'm based in Kenya. I'm 2-time certified, Salesforce certified, Service Cloud consultant, and Salesforce administrator. I am the Salesforce administrator at myAgro. It's a non-profit organization in West Africa. And I'm also a Salesforce consultant at Asante Africa and a guru at saasguru. So I have 2 years experience in Salesforce. I started my Salesforce journey as a platform user, and I developed interest in learning more on the platform, and that is where I am right now as a Salesforce admin. I did my Service Cloud consultant certification programs with saasguru platform, and I highly recommend that the platform they offer. I really recommend the platform because they offer good study plans and the mock exams. So I did my certification programs with them, and each and every the journey with saasguru was the best, and I used 7 weeks to do my exams. So I highly recommend the platform. They have the study materials that are well organized and the mock exams. Our today agenda, so the topic introduction, as I said, it's object architect, relationship, formula fields, and roll-up summary fields. So at the end of the session, we will have a Q&A session. Yeah, at the end of the session, and I will share a discount folder for anyone who would want to subscribe to join the certification programs for saasguru. So when we start, so our agenda is introduction, which I've introduced, and then the object architect field and fields. So we will learn about Salesforce object architect, relationship fields, roll-up summary, and formula fields. Then we'll give a live scenarios on Salesforce demos, showcasing the object related concepts, and we'll wrap it up at the end. So from the start, so Salesforce object basics. So we can have a scenario. So if you have a Autocar is an automobile manufacturing company and sells cars through a dealer network. So customer can book a test drive for their cars at the dealership before making a purchase decision. So Salesforce is like, I can say it's like a database where you find objects which are like database tables. So tables are like objects in Salesforce. We have the columns which are in Excel. They are like fields, or in a table they are like fields, and then we have the rows which are the records. So when you look at this example, so we have the dealership name, the customer name, and those are the objects in that table. And we have now the rows, which are the records, and the columns, which are the fields. So dealership name now is the field, and then we have the record, which is Autocar Sydney TaylorMade. So when you check on the test driver now, it's the object in the Autocar sales. So you could be having the contacts, the cases in that Autocar sale application, and you have the fields. So in Salesforce, we have several types of objects. We have standard objects, custom objects. So definition, what is a standard object and what is a custom object? So they are two different objects. So the definition or objects can be included with Salesforce and depend on Salesforce licenses. So standard objects come out of the box from Salesforce, and they, depending with the license that you're using, you get to access the objects in Salesforce. So custom objects, so those are the objects that you create to store information that specifies to your company, industry, or company specifications. So in examples of standard objects, we have Sales Cloud licenses. In Sales Cloud licenses, you can have accounts, leads, opportunities, campaigns, and quotes. Those are the examples of standard objects. And custom object example is a test drive object. So it's used to capture the test drive records in that object of the test drive, so which is linked to the customer and dealership account. So how does the representation of a standard object look like in Salesforce? So in Salesforce, representation of a standard object, like if we represent using a standard object API name like account, contact, and the representation of a custom object, they always have a _C at the end. So it's represented using an _C annotation like a test drive, a property C. So if we check, from example, from my developer hook, so this is the account object. It's having the API name is account because it's a standard object. But now if you find you have if you create a custom object, it will have an _C at the end. So those are the difference between custom objects and standard objects. So if we check on the standard object models for Salesforce Cloud and Service Cloud, depending with the cloud you're using in Salesforce, there are several clouds. So if you're using Sales Cloud, we would get to have a different model, unlike the one which is in Service Cloud. So you can have a one-on-one or one-to-many. Like if you have a contact can have several cases in Service Cloud, and if it is in Sales Cloud, you can find a campaign linked to a content which is one-to-many or accounts to contacts. So those are the models with the difference between Sales and Service Cloud. So if we check now on the fields, so that's the fields, you can find them in the setup. So if you want to create a field, so setup, each standard object comes with a set of pre-built standard fields. So standard objects comes with fields which are already there, some of them, and you can customize the standard object or custom object by adding custom fields. So if it is an account and you have some data points you want to report in the account, you can add them in the account object creating a custom field. And data type, so if data type, every field has a data type. So a data type indicates what kind of information the field stores, if it's currency, phone, or a pick list. So if we go to the account object, then fields, if you would want to create a field, then you click new. So it gives you several data types. So depending with the type of the field which you are creating, you choose the specific data type that fits the type of field which you're creating. If you're creating a date, you use the date field, date and time, use the date and time. If it's currency or a checkbox, or if it's a lookup or a text, or a pick list, you use the specific data type you're creating. So those are data type. And then we have the system audits. So those are the audit fields in Salesforce, are special fields that track information about your record that can be valuable to the audit process, like created by ID. So you can use the audits field to track the information about a record in the system. Then standard field customization, you can customize several aspects of standard fields, such as values in the pick list, tracking field history, lookup field filters, or on relationship fields, and field level help. So if you have a standard field, and you'd want to customize it to fit, if you have some pick list you want to add to fit your business requirements, so you can as well use that in the pick list value, so you can customize them even if it's a standard field. So creating a field, you can delete a standard field, also custom fields that references elsewhere, it's e.g. Apex code, workflow, or validation rule. So you cannot delete a standard field because it comes from Salesforce as an out of box object field, and also the custom field that is referenced, it's either in the Apex code or in the workflow, you cannot delete them. Then if you want to restore a deleted field, so deleted custom fields and their data are stored until your program permanently deletes them at 15 days. So we always have soft delete in Salesforce and add delete. So soft delete, when you soft delete, it will be in the recycle bin for the next 15 days. When the 15 days elapses, it will be deleted permanently. But if you add delete, it will be permanently deleted from the system. Then field history tracking. So you can select up to 20 fields to track on their history, related list of custom objects, and most standard objects. So if you'd want to track a field, you can only select up to 20 fields to track. Then other customization you can do on the page layouts to control the display of fields. So when you open let's say if you open a record, what do you see? So that is the fields you see, it depends with the page layout which was assigned to the object. So it's the page layout is used to control the display of the fields, field requirements, define default values, set field level security, or you can change or add any value of a standard custom field. So if you create a field, let's give an example, create a text field. Just give an the field is already existing, that is why it didn't allow to save. So So these are the field level security where you set for the field. So if you want to be visible by which profile, this is where you set the field. So those are the customization you can do on the field. And so now we can product showcase. So if the use case, an example of a use case, so AutoCars wants to track the self-service history of the car for the customer that have purchased the car from them, so they can send reminders to the customers at regular intervals and provide a great customer service. So for this requirement, admin has been asked to create a service history custom object. So using the field history tracking, so you create a service history custom object and 4 fields for last service dates, and then odometer rating, and the customer work done, and the customer name. Then track field history in case someone updates the information. So that is an example of a product showcase for using the field. You creating the custom object, and you create the custom fields, and now you use the system audit fields and field history tracking. So we can now go to the object relationship. So lookup relationship, we have 4 types of object relationship. We have lookup relationship, we have master detail relationship, many-to-many, and a record relationship. So when you look at lookup relationship, it's loosely coupled relationship to connect object to another in one-to-many relationship. So it's not tightly coupled relationship unlike the master detail relationship. So master detail relationship is strongly coupled relationship, meaning if the parent controls the behavior of the parent controls the behavior of the child record. And many-to-many relationship, also known as junction object, and is required when you have many of one record relation to many records to another. Then we have the hierarchical relationship. It's a unique relationship and can only be used on the user object, and it is designed to create a hierarchy of users. So if you're having users in an organization, and then you'd want to, if they're reporting to one manager, so that is the time where you can use the hierarchical relationships. So we have difference between master detail relationship, because those are the relationships which we see mostly in Salesforce. So we have a feature on that relationship, and then now the differences between the two. So because the other one is tightly coupled relationship and the other one is loosely, so that is where you find the differences. So definition is, one is tightly coupled relationship that has direct dependency between 2 objects. If 2 objects are related and they are directly dependencies, so it's tightly coupled. Unlike the lookup relationship, it is a loosely coupled record that is just as a relationship with other object. So child record create, if the feature for creating a child record, then the record details cannot be created without a master. Then the child record can exist without a master. So when you come to master detail relationship, you cannot create a record detail, cannot be created without a master. You cannot create the child without the parent. But for the lookup relationship, a child can exist without the parent, which is the master. Then child record sharing, the sharing rules are inherited from the master record detail relationship, but the sharing rules are not inherited from the master relationship for the lookup. So if there are sharing relationship in a master object, you'll find the relationship as well in the child relationship, like the detail, if it's master. But if it's a lookup, the sharing rules are not inherited to the child in the lookup relationship. Then the number of master detailed relationship can be up to 2 in an object. They are limited to 2 in a master detailed relationship. But in a lookup relationship, the maximum number of lookup relationships in an object can be up to 40. Then when you talk about the feature of deletion, like cascade deletion in master relationship and lookup, if a master record is deleted, then the record of its details it will also get deleted. But for the lookup, if it's deleted, the parents, like if the parents of the deletion of the parent just deletes the related field, but not the child in that record, but not the whole record. So when you come to roll-up summary can be created in a master detail, but in a lookup, you cannot create roll-up summary. Is it not supported in the lookup relationship? So when we come to a product showcase for features where master detail relationship and lookup relationship appears and junction object. So use case is ABC recruitment wants to track all their candidate application for their different roles. They also want to include accounts of their jobs as to how many applications have been received. As a Salesforce administrator, how will this be achieved? So on this one, you have first to identify the objects which are there. So we have the candidate application, we have the jobs and the roles. So the job and the role and the candidates have a relationship. So the candidates and the job and the candidates have a master detail relationship, and the junction object is the roles in that sense. So the candidates will be a lookup to the role. Then on formula fields and roll-up summary fields. So you can use formulas in Salesforce, and you create a field for the formula, and if you want to roll up a summary in a field as well, you can create a field for the roll-up summary fields. So we have two I can say those are special fields because for the formula fields in Salesforce are fields that are calculated each time a field is assessed. Their data is dynamically updated when their variables are changed. So if there is a change, it will be updated. And formula fields cannot exceed 3,900 characters in formula, and the resultant value of a formula field cannot exceed 1,300 characters. So they're having specific rules for, we say in Salesforce, they are speed governors in Salesforce. So you cannot exceed that number. If you exceed, it will bring some issues to the platform on data skews. Then you can't use long text term, encrypted, or description fields in formulas. The value of the field cannot depend on another formula that references it. So if a field, it cannot, if you are doing data uploads as well, you cannot upload fields which are formulas. So when the field is updated, when the data is dynamically updated, when the variable change. So if you change the variable, then the field will be updated according to the formula descriptions. Then roll-up summary fields. So roll-up summary fields calculates values from related records. So the record should have a relationship, and we say that roll-up summaries only happens in a master detail relationship. So you can create roll-up summary fields to display a value in master record based on the value of fields in detail record. The detail record must be related to the master detail relationship. So roll-up summaries are not supported through lookup fields. So you can create roll-up summary fields on which objects. So you can do that on a custom object, master on master detail relationship, and you can use that on standard object, and also opportunities using the values of opportunity products related to opportunity, and accounts using the values of related opportunities in the accounts. And also you can do that in the campaigns where campaign member status or values of the campaign member custom fields. So how do you achieve the summary, roll-up summary type? So if do a summary, for example. So if you want to create a roll-up summary field on account objects, so you come to the roll-up summary. According to the description, you give a description and a text on that. So this is where it comes. So if you want, which object do you want to summarize? So if I'm using a accounts object, then I would want to summarize opportunities. If I want to select the roll-up type, so if I want to do the sum of opportunity, like the sum of amounts of opportunities, if an account can have several opportunities, then I can do the sum of those total amounts of opportunities in that. So if I want to create the sum of the amounts in opportunities, so this is how roll-up summary looks like. So roll-up summary type, we can have counts. So the count is there. We have the sum, the minimum, and the maximum. So select the roll-up. How do you want to roll it up? Do you want to roll it up as a count or a sum or a minimum or a maximum value? So counts the record through the master detail relationship. Then identifies minimum value, identifies the value of specific field across all records through the master detail relationship. So we have also the minimum and maximum value. So the maximum value identifies the maximum value of a specific field across all records through the master detail relationship. So you cannot do the roll-up summary if there is no master detail relationship, because now you can see the master object is the account and the summarized object, which is the detail, is the opportunity. Then sum, so summarizes the value inside of a specific field across all records through the master detail relationship. So if you would want to summarize the sum of the fields which are in the record, that is how you can do it. So we have key formula field functions. So if I come back to the field, if I choose a formula field data type, you can do formulas as well as in Salesforce. So if you give a name of a formula, let's say we are calculating discount in a field. So this is they ask you what do you want the formula to return. So if you want to return currency or a checkbox or anything, so if I choose currency, then next, and then it will give me where I can do my formula. I can calculate now the discount. So if this, we have several operators, we have the insert operator, which is the common operations, addition, subtractions, and which is the math operators of addition, subtraction, and multiplication. And then we have the logical operators. So if you click advanced formula, we have the functions as well, which are here. So you can get the logical functions, you can get the dates and time functions from the functions, then text functions, summary function, then advanced function, depending with what you'd want to do with the, depending with what, if it's is changed, if you want to check if a record is changed. So depending with the formula you are trying to achieve, these are the functions which you can use. Then when you come to cross object formula, so a cross object formula is a formula that spans through related objects. So if we have two objects, then we can do a cross formula on the objects. So, and references, you can reference them using the merge fields on those objects. So a cross object formula can reference merge fields from a parent object if an object is on a detail side of master relationship. So a cross object formula also works with a lookup relationship. So it's not limited to the master detail relationship like the roll-up summary. So it can as well work on the lookup relationship. So what are the considerations of having a cross object formula? So you can reference fields from objects that are up to 10 relationships away. So if fields are having up to 10 relationships, you can reference them. Then a cross object formula is available anywhere. Formulas are used except when creating default values. So that is another thing to understand about cross object formulas. So you can use cross-object formulas you can relate objects using the cross-object formulas, but also it's supposed you can reference them using the match field on those objects. So some of the examples of business requirements, if using like if they want to find the average sales price, maybe if they are doing sales of like average sale amount of each car model, so if they want to do average sale price, so those are the examples of the business requirements which you can find in Salesforce, and the average sale price is the average sale amount of each car model. And then you can average resale price, average resale amount of each car model. So you find the average using the total amount of each car which was sold. Then total sales per brand. So total number of sales, total number of resales, total number of overall sales, and total amount. So that is where the formulas, you will find formulas coming in Salesforce. So average lease length month, so displays the average length in months. So that is why they would ask you, what do you want to if you create a formula, then what do you want to show at the end of the formula? So if it's month, if it's day and time, or it's time, so that is where you find some business requirement being used on formulas. So bill start and end date. So display start and end dates of bill on the car record using a formula field. Then bill length days, calculate the total bill length days in days and display on build project. So those are the examples of business requirements where you use object like the formula fields. Then a product showcase feature. So if you have a use case, Autocar wants to capture additional data on their customers to be able to provide more personalized services and reward other customers that have used their services frequently. The sales manager would like a customer status of Premier. If a customer has used their services more than 3 months, if a customer has a status of Premier, then they receive a discount of 10% of the service. So that is where you find the roll-up summary fields being used, because we have the master and the detail. Then you find you find how much the 10% discount on the service would receive using the formula fields. So those are how the features on the fields, the roll-up summary fields and formula fields can be used. So I think that is the end of our webinar. And so make sure you sign up, you log into the saasguru app, the application which there are some links which have been shared for the community. And for any questions and confirmation on learnings or anything, you can connect with me in Slack channel. If they have shared the link, you can join our Slack channel. Then the trailer links are also necessary learning, so don't forget. So if you can create an account with Trailhead for learning if you'd want to start your Salesforce journey.